bring me something?
I brought it.
You want to sing Shalom? Well, it's not till next Thursday.
Cheery, beery, beery, bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. So this Shabbat is also known as Shabbat Shirah, the Shabbat of song. The Torah portion that we'll read in the morning is the portion containing Shirat Hayam, the song at the sea. So all about the music, and we're going to get started with Shalom Aleichem on page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malekei HaShalom, Malekei Elyon. Mili Melech, Malekei HaMelekim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Malekei HaShalom, Malekei HaShalom, Malekei Elyon. Mili Melech, Malekei HaMelekim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Akuni Shalom, Malekei HaShalom, Malekei Elyon. Mili Melech, Malekei HaMelekim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Zechet Shalom, Malekei HaShalom, Malekei Elyon. Mili Melech, Malekei HaMelekim, Kadosh Baruch Hu.
131. Shir Ladonai, Shir Chadash, sing unto God a new song. Shir Ladonai Kol Haaretz, let all the world burst out in song. Shir Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shir Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Shir Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shir Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Shir Ladonai Baruchu Shemo, Basru Miyom Liyom Yeshuato. Shir Ladonai Baruchu Shemo, Basru Miyom Liyom Yeshuato. Middle of 132. Let the heavens rejoice and the earth exalt. Let the sea and all within it thunder. The fields and everything in them exalt. Then shall all the trees of the forest shout for joy in the presence of Adonai, who is coming to rule the earth, to rule the world justly and its peoples in faithfulness. 133. Mishmor Shiru Adonai Shir Hadash Imila Otasa Hoshi Eloho Yehino Utero Adro Akocho Hogi Adonai Yeshuato Venekadoim Gilatzikato Zahar Kasto Naro Israel Say, Yeshua Eloheinu, Yaelai Hayariu Adonai, Kol Haaretz, speak to Beranu Tameru, Zamru Adonai, Be'ekinor, Be'ekinor, Be'ol Zimra, Be'chat Tzrot, Be'kol Shofar, Hariu Lifnei Adonai, Yiram Hayam, We welcome the Shabbat bride, page 138. When we get to the last verse, Boi v'shalom, we rise as able and turn toward the door and welcome the Shabbat bride. 263. Yetkadah Shemei Rabban Yamadi Bracher Teniam Lich Malchutei Berchayevon Yomevon Rukayevon Beit Israel Bagala Urisman Karim V'Yemeru Amen Yeshmer HaTorah Le'olam Yibrak Yishtabak, Yitar Yitomam Yitaseh, Yitadar Yitaleh Yitalal, Shemei Kucha Beriku, Leila Miko Birkata B'Shirata, Tushekat Amelech Embata, Namiram Be'alma, V'yemeru Amen. Rise as able for our 2 page 264. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la la la. Yai la la la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la la la. Yai la la la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai Amevorach. Mahariva Ravim, the changing of times and seasons. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Moreyom v'layla, zolel or mipnei choshen, zolel or mipnei choshen, v'choshen mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Baruch atah Adonai, Amarim Aravim. Ahavat Olam, prayer around love. Love for the Holy One, love for one another, love for Torah, page 266. Siri Menolami, Baruch Adonai, Elohim Yisrael. Page 267. Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. V'ya'afra et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol v'avcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol menordecha, v'hayu ha'devarim ha'elet, asher Elohim etzavecha, hayom al babecha, v'shimatam v'vadecha, v'divarta bam, v'shivtecha v'veitecha, v'vletecha ha'eret, v'shoktecha v'promecha, v'sharta v'lo al yadecha, v'hayu v'lachot beinecha, v'vacham al tusot v'techa, v'risharta. L'man tishkeru v'asimecho mitzvahai, v'yifem kedoshim le'lechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, v'hiyot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, Amen. 269. Long ago we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High. We learned God's presence redeems time and event, so we celebrate this power that makes for freedom. Moshe Miriam v'nei Yisrael, lechamdu shira v'simcha rabba, amru kulam. Marki padal ma'yat kol kol miat chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai Na'al Yisrael. Hashkivenu, a prayer for peace. 271.
Then
Baruch atah Adonai, haborei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. 272. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-shabbos la'asot et ha-shabbos v'dorotam v'ritolam v'eini reigns b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam le'olam Yishechet yamim ha'asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et ha'aretz u'bayom ha'sheni Shabbat v'ayinam. Rise as able for Tefillah, page 273. Adonai sepakat iftach u'viyah itahilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor HaNorah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Ve'Gomrei Avot, Ve'Zoter Chasei Avot V'Imavot, U'Levi Goel L'Bnei Bneihem, L'man Shemo V'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshe my King, Baruch atah Adonai, Magid Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayim Itim et harav Hoshia, Mashiva Ruach Lorid HaGashem, Mechakel Chaim V'Chesed, Mechayim Itim V'Rachamim Rabim, Somek Lofrim V'Rovech Holim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayim Mekulatzot, V'Shelei Afar, Michamo Chaval Gehurot, U'Mino Melav, Melech Memim Z'Machayeh, U'Masmiach Yeshua, Malach HaVayot Metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekayem HaMetim. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el ha'adonu. Continue with the rest of the tefillah on our own, the Hebrew or the English, or your own hearts, prayers, and meditations through page 280.
Shalom, shalom, hallelujah. Say shalom, aleinu. Le'avon Yisrael, le'avon hallelujah. Say shalom, hallelujah. Israel, oh, say shalom, shalom, hallelujah. Say shalom, aleinu, le'avon Israel, le'avon
We say, Modim anachnu lach, give thanks for our joys, celebrations, significant things along our life's path, or small but meaningful things that have brightened our week. So I invite anyone who has anything they are feeling especially grateful for that you would like to share with
We successfully completed a winter road trip adventure, and saw my sister and some of her family in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, skied snowshoe, and then went to Breckenridge and saw our oldest son Jeff and his family, and did some more of that. Got back safely and got back in time for our anniversary this past Tuesday.
Yeah.
Also, I'm grateful for family and friends. Friends are our family.
Father, we celebrate in our lives. We say, Modim Anachnu Lach. We give thanks to you, Eternal One, Creator and Sustainer of life. May we go from strength to strength, and may we offer our gratitude for your abundant goodness along our path. Let us say, Amen.
Amen.
We should bear out a prayer now for healing. For all those who are in need of healing of body, soul, spirit, and I invite you again, if you have names of people who you're holding in your heart for healing, we would like to share.
Karen Pelkey, Michael Peck, and Paul Frank.
Sunny, I, Miriam, and Sharon.
So for these and for all who are in need of healing, we should bear out page 371. So I want to raise a question that I'll open for comments after a little introduction. And the preface to the question is to note, as I many times have, that in our tradition, we tend toward both and rather than either or. Rather than this or this, we hold things, sometimes seeming opposites, together in paradox and wrestle with where we are with both of those things. And this week's portion gives us a very good example of that. The portion that gives our Shabbat Shirah its name, the Sabbath of Song, finds us at the Red Sea. We pass through the sea. The waters close on the Egyptians, finally leaving us free of bondage. And the text goes on to say that Moses and the Israelites sang a song to God. We sing part of this song pretty much every morning or evening service. Mi chamocha, who is like unto you, we sing. And the song goes on to say, God is a warrior. Pharaoh's chariots and Pharaoh's army has God cast into the sea. The pick of his officers drowned in the sea of reeds. So it's a song of joy at the triumph over enemies. And yet many of us also recall hearing at our Pesach Seders, when we recall the triumph over our enemies, that for each of the plagues, we take out a drop of wine, the symbol of joy, as a way of saying that we diminish our cups that our celebration is slightly diminished by the fact that so many had to perish for us to go free. And often when that ritual occurs, people quote from a midrash. And people tend to know the first half of this midrash, which is contained within the Talmud itself. And the midrash says that when the sea parted, the angels longed to sing. But God said to them, "My handiwork, the Egyptians, are drowning in the sea, and you are rejoicing with a song before me." And so the Talmud indicates that God here is not gladdened by the downfall of the oppressor. And that's where most of the Seder citation of this passage ends. But it's not the end. The passage continues with Rabbi Yossi Bar Hanina adding, God does not let the angels sing, but God allows and even encourages us to sing this song at the sea. God does not rejoice in the downfall of the wicked, but God does cause others to feel joy. So we have a kind of tension in this moment at the sea that will run throughout Jewish tradition to follow. King Solomon embodies that tension in the book of Proverbs, where he expresses both sides of this pull. He says, first, when the wicked perish, there is and should be singing. Chapter 11 of Proverbs, but just 13 chapters later, he says, when your enemy falls, do not rejoice. So I'd like to put it out there for anyone who has comments that you'd like to offer. What is it to live with both of these truths that our tradition offers? That there are times to sing in moments of triumph, and yet there are also times to not rejoice, because our triumph comes at the expense of others. So, here. Shira, Hebrew name Shira. On Shabbat, Shira.
It makes me immediately wonder if it was appropriate to choose Shalom Aleichem to open this service.
Why?
And whether also it's okay to sing Milamocha boisterously. How does that work?
So it says we sang it boisterously at the sea. We did sing. As the Egyptians drowned, we sang. And again, God silenced the angels, but we sang.
But at Seder, we reduce our joy, I think, out of collateral damage. Whereas opposed watching your oppressor drowned, fine. I mean, yeah. Oppressors versus.
So you're making the distinction between innocent Egyptians who died.
Yeah, I mean, just anti-Semitic Egyptians living their lives who didn't do anything terrible. It's too bad. But, active participants in chasing us through, yeah.
The army chasing you to kill you, you can rejoice.
I think that the Hebrews had reason to be joyful about obtaining their freedom, but they also, every life that is lost is also a sadness. So I think maybe that is something that we live with, that's there all the time, and we have to balance that out.
I don't know if this was your intent, but as you were talking about that, I was immediately thinking about what's been going on in Israel the last couple of weeks, which I find very disturbing. And that we, the Jewish people in Israel, and Netanyahu and his cohorts, are not showing compassion for the other people who live in that land who deserve compassion also. It seems like he's focusing on us getting attacked while at the same time we're attacking them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go there.
Well,
It's too complicated.
it is, but that's what your referral to that made me think of.
Yes, although I want to focus on, for the moment anyway, on those who are really, bad, dangerous, evil people. You know, can we rejoice in their downfall? You know, I don't want to put the Palestinians in that category. So.
I think that it's always important that people who commit atrocities are people that hopes and fears and dreams and love, and something made these things happen. Some of it was in their control, some of it probably wasn't, and we should think of them as human beings who made choices, many of which were bad. And when human beings fall, it's sad. I mean, at the same time, sometimes the end result is that the world is better than be against human nature.
Uh-huh. And that seems part of the Talmud's passage, right? Angels shouldn't sing. Like, really, theoretically, you shouldn't rejoice in anyone's death. But God's saying, but human beings aren't angels, right? I mean, it's natural for us. I mean, you know, to take an extreme example, you know, I mean, if you were in Auschwitz, you know, and somebody came in and killed all the Nazi guards, you know, you'd be happy. I mean, no. Yeah.
Slightly later, maybe that's why so many of our songs are in minor keys, so you can have it both ways of both the singing and the
Yes. Even though it's my mission to move Jewish music back to the major key. That's one of my personal shtick.
As we go through the Passover season, one thing that always pops is that not that they get people, bad people, but it almost seems like God hardening up hearts and made them.
Yeah,
That really bothers me because we're supposed to be celebrating this good God, and yet instead of Pharaoh just saying, "Oh, you guys can go," he said it, and then God hardens his heart, and so maybe if God was hardening the heart, was he that bad of a person?
Yeah, that's another question. That's a different question. There are answers to that question, but I'm not going to go there tonight either because it's its own discussion. And that.
I was just, and get along with Jesse. I was just observing that perhaps it is rejoicing at our freedom. The death of those people means our freedom. And so it is not that we're rejoicing at their death, but we're rejoicing at our freedom more so. It's, you know, it's not like happy to see another human being die, because another human being is also, we're all part of God. But it's happy that their persistence has now stopped and we can move freely.
Yes, so the words of the song are, you drowned them in the ocean, and you covered their chariots with water. And it does really, in that song, it seems to be rejoicing in their deaths. Okay, I want to, we're not going to solve the problem, but I want to offer a word by way of closing from a commentary that I read this week. We have to live with this dichotomy. If we're not happy that evil has been punished, we don't care enough. But if we're not sad at the loss of life, and our humanity is weakened. So, in the rabbinic telling of the sea-splitting story, this is in Midrash, another Midrash, Pharaoh doesn't die, right? Everybody dies in the Red Sea except for Pharaoh. And according to the rabbis, Pharaoh flees and eventually becomes the king of Nineveh. And when the prophet Jonah shows up, he is the former Pharaoh is the king of Nineveh, who leads a national kind of repentance, puts on sackcloth and ashes and changes his ways. And Pharaoh, the villain of the Pesach story, becomes the paradigm for change that we read about on the afternoon of Yom Kippur. So, nice rabbinic twist that I think gives us hope and courage and possibility in difficult times. Concluding portion of our service, we rise as able for Aleinu, page 586. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adonako, l'tegedu l'al yotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'dei haratzo, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam trokeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol ha'olam, v'anachnu orim, u'mishtachavim orim, Lifnei melech v'ater ha'avim, hakadosh baruch hu, v'nemar v'haya Adonai, l'melech al kol ha'aretz, v'yom ha'hu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo We think now of our loved ones. We think of those who death has recently taken from us, of all those who died at this season in years past, those we have drawn into our hearts together with our own. I invite anyone who has names of people you are holding close for Hajj. Speak them. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be a blessing. Like the mourners and all whose custom it is to rise for Kaddish, page 598. Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shnei Baramim, V'almah, Yivrach, Yitzim, Yamli'ifah, Usay, V'chayim, V'yomei, V'chayim, Yisrael, V'adallah, Iman, Marie, V'guru, Amen. V'nation, V'racham, V'rach, V'elam, V'elam, Yivarach, V'sharach, V'farach, V'man, V'saseh, Yitzadar, V'zaleh, V'zalal, Shnei, V'rushah, V'rich, V'elam, V'oher, Atam, Shiratam, V'rushah, V'elam, V'ram, V'yamah, V'yamru, Amen. Yehei Shalom, V'rava, V'shemaya, V'chayim, Aleinu, V'yakol Yisrael, V'yamru, Amen. V'osei Shalom, V'yamru, V'yasei Shalom, Aleinu, V'yakol Yisrael, V'yamru, Amen. May the one who makes peace on high, let peace descend on us, and all Israel, and all the world. May comfort be with those who mourn. Let us all say, Amen. A couple announcements tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, and Beth, you want to say something about Tu B'Shvat?
Keep going.
Okay. I don't know what time we're starting.
To be spot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So hi, I'm Director of Lifelong Learning back here. I see a lot of faces I don't recognize. So introduce yourselves to me. But I'm here to tell you about Tu B'Shvat, which is Sunday. We're having a Seder, a Tu B'Shvat Seder, which is fruits and vegetables, beginning at 5, Jewish Standard Time. And then we invite you to either bring a picnic dinner, or you'll be able to purchase from The Void, which is one of Rabbi's favorite food trucks in town. It's a vegan, delicious vegan food. So I hope you'll join us. I have flyers if you're interested. And if you just tell us you're coming, so we have enough places set up.
I want to thank our musicians.
Yes.
We'll hear more from them in just a minute. Sandy and Steve and Petra, I want to thank Addie for getting us set up this evening. Guests, people here for the first time, people here visiting, want to introduce yourselves or have somebody introduce you so we can welcome you.
Hi, I'm Cindy and Thomas. We're band signs for the first time.
New to town?
New to town.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have our son Matt and his wife is here, and Alice, our granddaughter. And Ellie's parents are here, and Bob, and Chinoa and Leandro. They're visiting from Seattle.
Welcome.
And from Cleveland.
Okay, so I will, what I said I was not going to go to Andrea vis-a-vis the talk. I'll just say a word. It has been a hard week in Israel. And we're going to close with a song that is a prayer for peace. This song was a huge hit in Israel like 40 years ago. It was the first big Israeli popular song that was recorded by a group that included both Jewish Israelis and Palestinians. Od Yavo Shalom, peace will come. And so we pray for shalom, and in this prayer also for salam, for peace in Hebrew and in Arabic. Od Yavo Shalom is on page 657 on the bottom of the page.
Fervent prayer for peace, and it's all in the major chord.
Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Shalom, Shalom. Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Le'alulam. Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Le'alulam. Shalom Aleinu, Le'akol ha'olam. Shalom, Shalom. Shalom. Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Le'alulam. Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Le'alulam. Shabbat Shalom.
also. Did you know today? I took some library.